outside of Cam, one of the most radical senators we've had in a stretch here is Raphael Warnock. And he's only there because some of you dumbasses listened to Linwood and Sidney, whatever the fuck her face
Sidney
was. Powell. Golly. That's when the Republican Party really was doomed, when everyone was listening to that used car salesman. But
I just think of Bill Paxton.
Get some wet. But you have Raphael Warnock talking, same chick that we just showed on NBC News, talking about plans for a mandatory gun buyback program. Let's take a listen to this.
Should she also be, in your opinion, supporting a mandatory gun buyback program?
Listen, we're not going to be able to get where we need to go without action in Congress. We've got to pass some laws to deal with this. Now, I was heartened by the fact that 2 years ago we finally did a gun safety law, the Safer Communities Act, and it was the first gun safety law we passed in 30 years. 30 years. And it was modest, but it did save lives. But clearly, in the wake of what happened just the other day in Winder, Georgia, it's not enough. And the least we can do is move forward on the bipartisan spaces where ordinary people agree. Clearly, there's a disconnect between what the people, the American people, want and what they're able to get out of their government. Again, 87% of Americans believe in background checks, and yet I hear politicians say that it's not guns who kill people, it's people who kill people, and yet we don't even want to know who those people are. We won't even support.
Senator, just yes or no, though, should she support the mandatory buyback program? Just a yes or no.
Listen, look, as a pastor, I've done buyback programs. You can pick this issue or that issue, but I think that, again, there's not one single thing that will make all of this go away.
Okay, so first of all, as a pastor, have you seen some of the videos from that church? Anyways,
let's break down mandatory buyback.
Let's do, shall we? Because first of all, one, he didn't really answer at the end there, which was on purpose because it's very much their intent, but they don't want to go on record saying it because it smells and sounds an awful lot like communism, because it is. But this is always one of my favorite things. Let's talk about a mandatory buyback. Well, that's interesting because for a buyback to occur, that would imply that you owned it in the first place. Did you? No, you didn't, is the answer. This was privately purchased, legally purchased. So that's absolute BS. I mean, buyback, when you hear the term buyback, you should take it and replace it with another word, and that word is confiscation, because that's what it is. Sell us back your weapon that we never owned and do not have rights to, nor do we have the legal authority to take from you, or there will be federal government consequences. It's insane talk. But that's what they're talking about. That's what you interpret it as, right, Tom?
Absolutely. It's mandatory confiscation. Well, how is that going to work? It's going to work by having police go door to door trying to get guns from people. That's not going to end up well. I know a lot of police officers who are dreading this day if it were ever to happen under a Harris administration of having to, Mr. Berquist, we know that you have some weapons inside and we're here to take them.
Not here.
Sorry, we're not here right now.
That was the KitchenAid mixer.
But the thing that I'm fearful of is that just as we saw with COVID, you had police officers on the street. I'm just doing my job, man.
Right.
I know your son's 9 years old, but he has to wear a mask when he walks into a restaurant. I'm just doing my job. That's what I'm afraid is going to happen.
Yeah.
You're going to have that mentality.
Well, because not only did it happen historically, but the ones who were willing to push back said, I'm out of here. I'm not working for people like you anymore. And what's happened? They've been replaced by the mouth-breathing kids who are still wearing masks.
Or the illegals.
Or the illegals in some states. And it's just absolutely maddening. But this is the reason, y'all. Again, if you're I don't like Trump and I don't know what I'm doing kind of a thing, Look at this issue. Look at the illegal immigration stuff that we're about to talk about, because that's a real hoot, especially if you're in Springfield, Ohio, or Aurora or Chicago. Chicago's bad all the time. But don't just look at that even. Look at this, because this is what they want to do. And you should know. You should be smart enough to know that if this happens and we lose the Second Amendment, that we lose the country. It is the only thing keeping us as some form of a constitutional republic. We're not really a constitutional republic anymore, but that's what we're supposed to be. And the only thing that's keeping us from not being way, way far away from that is the fact that we're some seriously armed motherfuckers. Period. It sounds so simple, but it's true. It's just true.
Yeah.
Let's speak about this other issue. Fight back on that one. Get loud. Don't give an inch. They will take a mile and then ram a pineapple squarely up your ass. That's how communists do things.
Mike Lindell here, and like you, I see our country being destroyed daily. We face massive economic issues, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, there are people in power who threaten the values that have made our country great. Well, I've been a believer in gold and silver for a long time, and I've searched for years for a partner that shares my values. Well, Genesis Gold Group showed me how easy it is to protect your IRA, 401k, or your retirement with gold and silver. Their faith-driven approach to service and stewardship is one that stands out from the rest.
To get your free definitive gold guide and get started learning more about investing in gold and protecting your retirement from uncertain times, visit treasureandtrust.com now. Fill out the basic contact form and a member of the team will be in touch. Again, that's treasureandtrust.com or call 855-625-7760.